LGBT people are the trash of society. LGBT people are the biggest threat to humankind. LGBT people bring shame upon the country. Imagine hearing these words as you grow up struggling to come to terms with your own sexuality. Imagine hearing these words come out of the mouth of the people that you love the most. And imagine hearing these words echoed by some of the most powerful people in your community, your place of worship, and your country. To some people, these words don't mean a thing. To some people, these words motivate them to hate. But to a group of people, some probably sitting next to you today, these words are very real. They hurt. They destroy self-esteem. They bring tears and self-hatred, and sometimes they even kill. You hear them in every corner of the world, spanning across all the 5 continents. You see people get killed, persecuted, bullied, sexually abused, mentally tortured, and so on. Their crime? Loving someone of the same gender. Their sin? Not being the kind of boy or girl that society expects them to be. And yet many seem to think that this is not a human rights issue. In fact, it is a topic that has long been swept under the carpet. Some don't want to talk about it because they consider it a culturally sensitive topic. But while we remain silent, lives are at stake. I know of a girl who was dragged behind a car by her own father because she refused to wear dresses. Another girl was locked inside a room with a man and forced to have sex with him by her own family to turn her straight. Parents disown their children. Young people don't have access to equal opportunities. They say it's a choice, but why would anyone choose a life that can get them exiled of their own house? Why would anyone choose a life that results in the whole world hating them, including their own family? A life where no matter how good of a person you are, your self-worth always comes down to who you love or how you identify yourself. So One Year World, today I speak to you because I believe in the power of young change makers. Change is possible, and it can start with us, with you. It starts with the young generation. 2 years ago, I was told that a pride parade would never take place in my country, Timor Leste. That if LGBT people had rights, roosters would grow teeth. This year, everyone watched in admiration as one of the world's youngest nations held its first ever pride parade, despite being surrounded by giant conservative neighbors. I stood in front of the Prime Minister in the government palace as he delivered an official video message that calls for the nation to be more accepting and inclusive of LGBT people. Thanks to the dedication and passion of a group of young volunteers who made it happen, the group I co-founded. 10 years ago, I was bullied at school, misunderstood at home, and harassed on the streets. I even asked myself if I was worthy of living. This year, I walked proudly with a rainbow flag and a Timorese flag in my hands on the streets of Dili, with a big smile and a teary eye. Four years ago, when I came out to my brother for the first time, he told me that he hated me, and we stopped talking for 2 years. This year, my brother walked alongside me at Pride, wearing a t-shirt that says, "You are not alone." So One Young World, today I challenge you to go out and advocate for those who still struggle to feel accepted in schools, at homes, and on the streets because of their differences. Show them that they're not alone. Sustainable development goals call for no one to be left behind. So that should not exclude a group of people simply because they love differently, or dress differently, or identify themselves differently. As in the words of our own Prime Minister, everyone has the potential to contribute to the development of our country, including members of the LGBT community. Discrimination, disrespect, and abuse towards people because of their sexual orientation or gender identity would not bring any benefit to us as individuals and as a society. So now to close, I will leave with you a quote by Nelson Mandela that says, "To be free is not merely to cast off one's chains, but to live in a way that respects and enhances the freedom of others." A luta continua. Thank you.
Amazing.